Hello everyone, thank you for joining me in the middle of a quick detecting session between rain showers. Well, today I'm out using the general program with the 13-inch XP Deus II coil, and I'm using the 13-inch coil hopefully to give me a bit more ground coverage because we're on some open pasture, maybe a little bit more depth, who knows. Now the reason I chose the general program is because this site has just got a high water table. When you dig the holes, they just fill up with water. So I know that the general program has got some built-in halo effect removal to combat those false signals. And also I'm using the pitch audio because I think the pitch audio gives me a little bit of extra dynamics when it comes to hearing deep targets and indeed identifying difficult iron. So that's it really. Let's get out there and hopefully find a couple more targets. You probably see around here I've got almost a bowl. It's like a dish shaped. I don't know what this was used for, but I've found quite a few sort of, I suppose, Victorian Georgian coins just in this little patch. And I've got a signal to show you somewhere around here. That's iron. That's a nasty squelchy sound, isn't it? But that's a nice solid sound coming in at 86. You can hear all the water squelching as I dig this hole. Listen to the change in target intensity on that signal, which means it's right on the surface. And there it is, look. Okay, well, that's what it is. It's a copper coin. It's pretty much stripped of anything. Most of the coins here are exactly the same, to be fair with you. Nothing brilliant. But I guess it's a coin, isn't it? So that's our first coin of the session. I may change the audio around a little bit, but I do like the pitch mode because it gives you a good indication of depth, especially when you're sort of coin shooting for the deeper coins. The shallow targets really scream at you, as you heard there, which it was on the surface obviously, but those are the sort of targets I will probably ignore on this field and just go for the quieter ones. As we're talking, this hole is already filling up with water, so that just shows you how bad it is on this field. Putting this coil into the controller was really simple. All you do is go to options, pairing, select coil, select an empty slot, and put your serial number in. And the exact same procedure goes with the WS6 headphones. But I'll do a really short video on pairing a new coil very soon. That's iron. And also, if you want to delete a coil, all you do is the same procedure, but instead of putting a serial number into it, you put a series of zeros and then press validate and it'll delete the coil. 82, 83, look. And it's quite a soft sound on the pitch mode. Let's have a look, see what we got. Still there, but did you notice it's getting a little bit more louder? Okay, let's go for the MI6 this time, see what we got. Right at the bottom there. In fact, I think I need to take a little bit more out with the spade. As usual, I've forgotten my hand digger, which is standard these days. I think whatever's in it now, I've shifted it. That's what it is. Junk, junk. Do you know what? I think this may have all been a big pond at one point, you know, because you've got all these grasses growing around, which are typically found around sort of pond areas. And just out there, out of shot, you've got some reeds coming out of the ground. It's just got a feeling about it. Just waiting for that positive sound. Just that nice solid tone. I mean, the pitch program is pretty good because it's a good way of identifying iron, because the iron gives a stuttery sound, whereas the good targets give a nice soft two-way sound. And of course the target intensity is based on size and depth. There's another nice sound, and it's coming in at 79. I can get it probably 5 inches above the ground. But it's not a shallow target, and I don't think it's a particularly deep target, but because of the target ID number, I think that's worth a look, don't you? Right, here we go. It's getting a bit more intense now, just like the last one, and I can see it. It's another coin. There it is, look. The button, just with that pip on the back. Well, I can be forgiven for thinking that was a coin because it's coin size, coin shape, but what a lovely confident sound that was. And when you try to get every inch of depth out of your machine, you've got to make sure that that coil is as close to the ground as physically possible, because 2 inches above the ground, you're going to lose 2 inches plus below the ground. So just be a little bit mindful about keeping that coil on the ground. I've got to show you this one because this is quite a challenging one. Have a listen. Coming up at 83. But if I move to the left a little bit, that's clearly iron. I'm pretty sure that is another target next to that big piece of iron. I don't think they're the same target, because the other target's a lot shorter, it's choppier, it's cleaner, isn't it? And it's giving the right sort of numbers. Oh. Getting closer. Okay, so we're still going down for that one. Look, it's still in the hole. Oh, I wish I had my hand bigger. Okay, let's move that. Loosen that dirt up, look. Are we still going? Yes, we are. Oh, come on. Right, we've moved it. So that was 10 inches down all day long. Right, here we go then. It's somewhere in my hand. Nope. Nope. Yes. Haha. Little coin, look. It's quite a small one for that sort of depth. Oh look, it's got a hole in the top. There you go. I thought it was a coin, but it's a dog tag. Look at that. Flipping dog tag. Can you believe that? What's a dog tag doing sort of 9-10 inches down? Probably got trodden down by the cows. I can see a phone number on that. Coming up at a quite respectable 68 there. 67. Let's go 90 degrees on it. It's another one of those, isn't it? Is it worth going for? Yeah, of course it is. We're not digging many targets at the moment, so we may as well investigate a few of these suspicious ones. And that's the easiest way to learn the machine. So let's have a look. Wasn't deep at all, was it? Look at that. Well, there it is, look. See for yourself. Initially I thought it might have been perhaps a pinhead, but it's certainly not. It's more modern than that, so we put that down as a piece of junk. But it wasn't a ferrous target, was it? It was a non-ferrous target from what I remember. Sounds good now, doesn't it? So I wonder if there's any iron in that hole. Look at that, it's filling up with water already. There it is, filling up with water, and there's iron in it. And it's coming up at 5, 6, 8. So personally, I think that was a good call. That could have been absolutely anything, wasn't it? A non-ferrous target in amongst the iron, in amongst the water. So, you know, in a strange way, I'm pleased about that. So what else would I use on this particular piece of land just to get that extra bit of performance? Well, I think next time I come here, I'm going to try the Relic program. The Relic program's certainly got some punch, hasn't it? But it's a raw program. You need to be quite patient with it, but I think it'll work. So that's probably going to be one of my next videos over here. See if we can find some of those elusive deep targets and ignore all the tiny bits of rubbish on the surface like nuts, bolts, screws, foil, air rifle pellets, etc., which really does test your patience. So okay, let's have a wander, see if we can get another target. That's a bit different. That's coming in at 87. Apologies for the wind, the weather's just starting to change. And the water here is just so high, look. Everything's filling up with water. 87 then. General. Sensitive. Sensitive full tones. Nice squelchy sound that one, isn't it? One more, fast. Now fast is a little bit clippy, isn't it, because it's using the pitch audio and it's using a faster recovery speed. So if I was hunting for deep coins like I am today, I probably wouldn't use the fast program. I'd use fast on perhaps a busy Roman or medieval site, or somewhere where there's lots of targets close to each other in amongst iron. Fast still gets it, but like I say, I don't think that's the program for deep coins. Park. Park gets it really well, doesn't it? Nice fluty sound. And that's using the square tone. Deep HC, this is going to be an interesting one. Smashes it out, doesn't it? Deus mono, why not? 17 kilohertz. Even the Deus mono gets it. So, okay, let's go back to the general program and let you hear that again. Don't forget I'm using the pitch audio. So let's go to the general program and just put it in its standard tones. Well, actually it's in 2 tones. As you've seen on my previous videos, I use the general program in 2 tones. I've started to bore myself, let's dig it. Well, that's it out. Nope. 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 Yes. Okay. There it is. Another grubby little coin, look. I bet you there's nothing on it as well. Difficult to see with all this mud. But there it is. Well, that's it guys. Sorry we hadn't had any silver or anything dynamic today, but we've had a few nice deep little targets, haven't we? And it's been interesting testing this 13-inch coil with the Deus II, just to see if I get a little bit more ground coverage and perhaps a little bit more punch. I don't know if I did. Do you? Would you have got those targets with a 9-inch coil? I think you probably would have, wouldn't you? But the 13-inch coil is mainly for, like I say, ground coverage and better depth on the bigger targets, not so much the coin size targets, but you never know, next time we might have a nice big deep artifact or something like that. Just got to keep trying, haven't you? But guys, thanks for joining me. It was only a quick session and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.